Hello, everybody. This is London calling. This is exciting, isn't it? Whew. I hope there's some people watching me. It's very weird here. I'm sitting in the little shed at the end of my garden, all on my own. I haven't even got Ringo in here with me. And I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that somebody is watching. Right, so good afternoon, everybody. Good morning to everybody in the Western time zones. It's very, very early in the morning for everybody out there in the USA and in South America who are watching me today. And good evening to everybody in those Eastern time zones. Lots of you have stayed up very, very late for this. I'm very, very grateful. I've had lots of messages on Facebook, people saying they're going to stay up in Australia and in Japan and China, places like that. So welcome everybody to this very special edition of Draw with Rob. It's so exciting. I should introduce myself, shouldn't I? Suddenly struck me, you might not know who I am. Well, my name is Rob Biddulph, and I am a children's author and illustrator. You see, I'm greedy. I like to do both. I like to write the words and I like to draw the pictures too. Would you like to see a picture of me? Because I can't fit my head under this camera, you see. There we are. That's me. I'm the one on the left, just in case you're not sure. This is Ringo, my dog. Hopefully Ringo won't be making an appearance in this video. You never know. He does sometimes like to come up here and bark at the door. So apologies in advance if that happens. Now, you might know me from books like this. Here's a load of my books here. This was my first one. It was called Blown Away. It's all about this chap, Penguin Blue. He goes out flying his kite on a very windy day and he ends up getting blown away across the sea. Maybe you've read this one. It's called Grr, all about a bear called Fred who loses his growl. Or maybe you've read this one. This is a popular one. It's called Odd Dog Out. And it's all about a sausage dog who doesn't fit in with all the other sausage dogs. Do you know what? Maybe you've never read any of my books. Maybe you've never even heard of me in terms of being an author and illustrator. But maybe you've been doing my draw-along videos during this lockdown period. So I've been doing these videos, as lots of you will know, because lots of you have drawn these pictures and sent them to me. I've been doing them since lockdown, just as something for you guys to do while you're not at school and while you're looking for things to fill your day and to maybe help your parents out a little bit too. And what's brilliant is we do these drawings together. I show you how to do the drawings, but can you see, look, they all come back. And although we all start at the same point, everybody's drawings, they look a little bit different. So look at all these different lions here, peacocks, lots of lovely, lovely owls. This is brilliant. I love these. We did some self-portraits, so I got to see what all of you look like. And at the end of every video, I select about maybe 90 of your drawings at random, and we post them on a grid. So maybe after today, I'm going to make a little grid. I probably won't do it till tomorrow now, because we're later, aren't we, than usual. But don't forget to send me your pictures at the end of this. But more of that a little bit later on. So why are we here today? Because we're having a go at the world record. That is so exciting. I remember watching programs like Record Breakers. Some of your parents might remember Record Breakers when I was young, and I never dreamed that a day would come when I would get to maybe be a record breaker. What are we going to try and break the record for? Well, it's the largest ever online art lesson. So we need 10,000 people to be watching for us to break this record. Now, I'm going to tell you something now. I've got this is a bit funny, but I've got somebody speaking in my ear. I've got Willow Murphy from Art World Records speaking in my ear. So every now and then I'm going to ask her some questions. So if you suddenly think I've started talking to myself, you will know that I haven't actually gone totally crazy. I'm talking to somebody. So Willow, can you tell me how many people registered? I can't remember how many people registered. Oh, whoa. So we had 66,000, nearly 67,000 people register apparently. We need 10,000 to break the record. Do we know how many people we've got watching at the moment? Yeah. Whoa, no way. Apparently watching right now, we've got 43,000 of you. Oh my gosh. Now, all I'm thinking now is like Arsenal football stadium full of people watching me draw. Maybe I shouldn't be thinking about that. That might make me too nervous. Anyway, that is very, very exciting. Thank you so much for joining. Surely we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Right. Now then, before we start the drawing, I need to tell you about the rules, okay? It's very, very important that you all stick with me for the whole lesson. Even if you get bored of me rabbiting on about drawing, please, please, please stay with me, because you won't get counted towards the record if you go away. So if you get a bit bored, just leave your laptop open. Go away and do something else and come back. But please, please, please don't navigate away. That's the first thing you need to know. The second thing is, do you know what I was most nervous about with this? It's all the technical side of things. We're really worried about losing our stream. Now, if that happens, if I suddenly disappear, don't worry. All you need to do is click on my little logo thing that you can see underneath your screen now on YouTube, the thing that says Draw with Rob on it. And that will take you back to my YouTube page. And then if you just find the little tab that says live videos, if we do go down, we'll put a new live link up as soon as we can. So I will be back. Okay. Shall we start? Shall we start our little drawing? Let's do it. Okay, so what are you going to need for this drawing? Well, a piece of paper would help. Here's my little piece of paper. I'm going to see if I get it in the middle. That looks pretty good to me. Right, piece of paper. What else do you need? You need a pen or a pencil or something to draw with. Now, the question I get asked more than any other is, Rob, what pens are you using? So I'm going to tell you now, okay, so you all know. I mean, it's a bit late to get these pens for today's lesson, admittedly, but this is what I use. They're all made by a Japanese brand called Kuretake, and they're really lovely. They're brush pens. Can you see the end of my pen there? It's a brush pen. And what that means is when I press hard down on the paper, I get a nice thick line. But if I just press lightly, I get a nice thin line. And I really like to have a variety of line. And there's a couple of others you might have seen me using. This is a Kuretake Mangaka Flexible. And this one here is the prettiest one of all. And this is another one of those brush pens. So there you go. Now you know the pens that I use. So you need your piece of paper. You need your pen. A bit later on, it would be good if you've got something that you can colour in with. Don't worry if you haven't. If you've just got a pencil or a pen, that's fine. You can still do some shading and colouring in and patterns, things like that. But if you've got something to colour with, that would be brilliant. Right, I think we're ready to go. So, if you haven't seen these videos before, this is how it works. Lots of children, they tell me they don't think they're very good at drawing. But do you know what? I think that everybody can draw. It's just a question of knowing the order to do the drawing in. So that's where I come in. I can help you with that, because this is how it's going to work. I'm going to do a little bit of drawing on my piece of paper here. Then I'm going to stop for a minute, and you're going to copy exactly what I do. Okay? Then I'm going to draw a little bit more. Then you're going to draw. Then I'm going to draw. Then you're going to draw. Then I'm going to draw. Then you're going to draw. I draw, you draw, I draw, you draw. And then at the end, we're all going to end up with something that we're really proud of, hopefully. Okay. Now, if you need to pause, because I'm going to draw probably quite quickly. If you need to pause, that's fine, but just don't navigate away from the page, okay? And I will try and leave a bit of time in between each bit of the drawing, but you might need to pause occasionally. That's absolutely fine. Okay, let's start, shall we? Stop talking, Rob. Get drawing. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm being told by Willow to adjust my piece of paper. How's that? Is that all right, Willow? Is that straight? Does that look all right? Bit more up, like that? Yeah? Okay, thank you, Willow, thank you. It's very handy having her in my ear. Right, okay. More to the left, more to the left. I don't think we should worry too much, as long as they can see what I'm doing. Right, so we are going to start. We are going to start right in the middle of our piece of paper. We're going to put our pen, and I want you to draw a nice, big, sort of C shape. It's going to come down. It's going to go around the bottom like that. So a sort of funny little sort of C shape. Now, can you see that my line isn't perfect at all? But I don't think that matters. In fact, I really like it when you do a drawing and there are some little kind of imperfections. I think that's really, really nice. So don't worry if you don't get your line absolutely perfect. It really doesn't matter. So there we go. A nice, easy way to start, a C shape. And it's got to be down towards the bottom of your piece of paper, because we're going to need this area at the top a little bit later on. Okay, the next thing to do is, at this end of your little C shape, I want you to draw a short diagonal line, like that. So it looks like a bit like a sort of a funny letter G, doesn't it? That's what we've drawn. A C shape, and then we turned it into a G. Next, let's put our pen at the bottom of this line. We're going to do a little sort of curve round there, and we're going to go up like that. So it's sort of a bit like a V, a bit like a cross between a U and a V at a slight diagonal. Oh, it's quite strange that you guys don't know what it is that we're drawing yet. I thought it'd be nice to leave it as a bit of a surprise today. Usually when you watch my videos, you can see the title screen at the beginning, can't you? Which tells you exactly what we're going to draw. But I thought it would be nice to surprise you. I'll give you a clue, shall I? The animal that we're drawing, because we are drawing an animal, is a world record breaking animal. There we go. There's a little clue. I wonder if you're all having a guess at what we're drawing. Okay, the next thing to do is, right, this bottom of this C, if you imagine that that C went straight through our sort of lopsided V and came out the other side, I want you to continue that line up and around. And we're going to go a little bit higher than the point that we started, okay? But in a nice smooth curve, up to about there, okay? See, to me now it's really, really obvious what it is that we're drawing, but I wonder if you can tell. Remember, a record-breaking animal. Okay, next. We're going to go back to where we started, right at the top here. And we're going to continue that line down as if we're going to crash into the other line. But before we get there, we're just going to turn around and head upwards and stop sort of next to where we finished that line. Just like that. Okay? Next, from the top of the line that we just drew, how am I looking, Willow? Is it straight? Is it looking straight to you? Looking good, all looking good, thank you. What we're going to do from the top of this line, I want you to draw a little diagonal, straight diagonal line, like that. Sort of coming at right angles almost from that line we just finished. And I want you to do exactly the same on the other side, like that. So two little straight lines. Oh, it's quite hot today. I'm sticking to my bit of paper. Oof, that's probably too much information, isn't it? Sorry everyone. It's very hot in London today. Okay, next. I want you to we're going to go back to this line here. We're just going to curve it up and around like that. Okay, a little curve, not too far. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. We're going to curve it up and around like that. And this should be roughly the same size as this. But as I said before, do you know what? It doesn't matter at all if they're totally different sizes. In fact, I often think that it works better when things aren't perfectly symmetrical. Okay, this is a fun bit now. Let's put our pen at the top of here, and we are going to do, you know, like those bumpy slides you get in the playground. We're going to have a little ride down our bumpy slide. We're going to go down, we're going to have a little bump, and then we're going to go down again, and we're going to stop right in the middle, sort of level with the middle of that bit there. And then we need to do exactly the same on the other side. We're going to go down, we're going to go up, and then we're going to go down again, and we're going to join them up in the middle. Come on, guys, you must know what it is that we're drawing now. It's so obvious. I wonder if any... Willow, have you guessed what it is? Yeah, I'm just asking Willow. Willow, do you know what we're drawing yet? Willow thinks she knows. Willow thinks she knows, right. The next thing to do is, just down here, bottom left-hand side of this shape that we've drawn, I want you to draw just a little sort of curved line like that, same sort of size as that. Come on then, right, shall I tell you what we're drawing? I reckon every single one of you has already guessed. We are drawing a whale. Not just any whale, we are drawing the world record holding whale for the biggest animal ever to have lived on the earth. Did you know that? It is the blue whale. It's the biggest animal to ever have lived on the earth. Now, I don't know how they know that, because dinosaurs were pretty big, weren't they? And I don't think they know exactly how big the biggest dinosaur is, but they're saying, is the blue whale bigger than any dinosaur ever? I don't know. Apparently, according to the website, according to the internet, that is the case. I don't always trust the internet though, but we're going to say it for today. The blue whale is the biggest animal that has ever lived, a world record holder. I'm not sure if it's got a certificate for being the biggest animal that's ever lived, but it certainly is a world record holder. So our blue whale is really starting to take shape. The next thing I want you to do, put your pen at the top of this thing here, which is actually This is actually our whale's fin, his front left fin. And what I want you to do is a dead straight line, excuse me, coming straight across like that. I'm just going to have a little drink of water. Yeah, that's better. So a dead straight line. You can see I've done mine slightly thinner than the outline there. Now I want you to imagine that straight line goes straight through the top of this fin and carries on out the other side, just like that. And this is going to be our whale's tummy area. We're going to come back to that a bit later. Okay, I think it's about time that we woke our whale up. So we need to give him or her, I don't know whether your whale is a him or a her, I think mine's going to be a him. We need to give him a great big eye. So just above this area here where the fin touches the tummy, I want you to draw a nice, pretty big circle, about that sort of size, I reckon. A lovely circular eye for our little whale. I think this might be a baby blue whale, actually. Okay, now, if I was to draw our whale, now it's up to you what you do. I should have said at the beginning, you know, I'm going to make a few decisions along the way with this drawing, but you know what, you guys feel free to make your own decisions. You don't have to do exactly what I do. But my whale, if you want to make your whale, if you wanted your whale to look directly at us, you would do the little pupil, the little black circle, right in the middle of his or her eye. But I want my whale to be looking upwards. So I'm going to add the pupil at the top of the eye, just sort of going out of the edge of the top of the eye, like that, because our whale is going to be looking at the thing that we are going to draw at the top of our drawing. Now, I don't think, this is going to sound a bit strange, but I don't think I'm going to give our whale a mouth, because I think he looks pretty cute without one. I don't think we need one. Sometimes you don't need to add every element of the drawing to get the character of your character across. So I'm not going to draw a mouth, but I am going to add a bit of expression, and a really good way of adding expression is to add an eyebrow. I think I've told you before, if you are drawing a character that's smiling and you want to make them look extra smiley, if you add 2 eyebrows quite a long way above their eyes, it makes them look extra happy. So I think our whale's a bit of a curious whale, so I'm going to add his eyebrow quite a long way above the eye, sort of up here. So I want you to add a little tiny curve, sort of near the top of our whale's body, like that. Oh, he's cute, this whale. I really like him. Oh, it's so strange doing these videos that I don't get to see, because when I do them at when I do draw-alongs at my live events, I get to see what everyone's doing. I can see the people with their piece of paper in the front row. But when I'm doing it like this, I can't see what anyone's doing. It's very frustrating, but at least I get to see them afterwards. Okay, now then, whales aren't fish, are they? They're mammals, so they have to breathe air. So they have these things in the top of their bodies called blowholes, and what they do, they dive down into the water. I think blue whales, they can go like 5 miles or something under the water, and they sort of hold their breath, and lots of water and stuff goes into their bodies, but they don't breathe with the water with their gills like fish do. What they do, they hold it all in, and then they go back up to the surface and they blow it all out through these blowholes, and they make these huge jets of water. So we are going to draw one of these huge jets of water coming out the top of our blue whale. So what I want you to do, we're going to put our pen directly above the eye, and we are just going to draw a nice smooth curved line that comes out like that, sort of goes around the tail and sort of stops about there, so quite near to the edge of the tail, like that. And then we need to do exactly the same on the other side, a sort of mirror image, like that, nice smooth curve. And that is going to be the jet of water that comes from the top of our whale. The next thing I want you to do, now we need to draw, what I want to draw now, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do in advance. We're going to draw a great big curve that goes all the way around our drawing, like that. Now sometimes, I don't know about you, but I don't feel that confident that I'm going to be able to do it in one go, a great big smooth curve. So what I do sometimes, I sort of make it a bit like a dot to dot puzzle. So I'm going to make a little mark here, sort of in the middle of those two lines we just drew. I'm going to do, let's do another one about there. I'm going to do another little dot there at the top of this line, another one there, and I'm going to do one there. And then I'm just going to join them up like a dot to dot puzzle. Because I think sometimes if you break it down into little bits like that, just move my pens out of the way, little bits like that, do you see what I mean? You get a nice smooth curve, exactly where you want it to be, but it's a bit more accurate than if I just tried to do it first time, because I think I'd probably get it wrong. So now I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do a little dot there, one at the top of that line, one about there, one there, and I'm just going to join them up. Another thing, I'm left-handed. Do you know what? I'm going to be absolutely amazed if I get through this video without smudging everything, because I always smudge everything. So I'm going to do my best. If I was drawing this in real life, I'd probably turn my drawing round, but I want to try and keep it so you can all see it. So I'm sort of putting my hand rather awkwardly over the top like that. But there we go. A nice smooth sort of semicircle like that. That's not too bad actually. This was the bit I was quite nervous about, the curvy bit. Okay, we're going to do another curve. I want another curve that basically follows the line of that curve there. So I'm going to do it again with my little dots. I'm going to do one there, one there, one there. I'm sort of keeping the distance between these dots and the actual line roughly the same. Let's put a couple in the middle. One there, one there. Do you see what I mean? It's just a handy way of doing a smooth curve, like a dot-to-dot puzzle. I'm going to start at this end this time. We're going to go up, join those two, go up here, join those two, go up here, all the way around the top like this. Try not to smudge the drawing. Let's go down here and join up there. We did it. That's not too bad. So look, our big water jet and a great big arc of water there. Now, we need to join these two ends up, don't we? But I'm not just going to do a straight line. Because it's water, I thought we should do sort of a little wobbly line, like that. Wobble, wobble, wobble. We'll do the same here. Wobbly, wobbly, wobbly. There we go. This is good, this drawing. I'm pretty pleased with this so far. In fact, you know what? I think it's about time that we started doing a bit of colouring in. I think we're pretty much done with all of our line work now. So, if you've got some coloured pencils or some felt tips or some crayons or anything like that, grab them now. If you haven't, don't worry. If you've been drawing with a pencil, you can just shade with the same pencil. That would be absolutely fine. And the other thing is, I'm going to colour my blue whale in blue because, you know, I'm obvious like that. But you can do your whale any colour that you like, okay? Maybe you want a pink whale with, you know, yellow spots, or sort of stripy red and orange stripes, or maybe a tartan whale. I don't know, anything you like. But I'm going to be quite boring, and I'm just going to colour mine in blue. So, usually when I'm doing my Draw with Rob videos, some of you might remember that I go into super speed mode to do my colouring. Now, this video is live, so I can't do that, can I? Although I think actually, come to think of it, I think when I'm doing my videos, I think I tell you that I'm just really fast at colouring. So I might reveal the little trade secret there. Oh dear, never mind. But anyway, you're going to have to watch me do this in real time. Now, colouring in can be tricky, can't it? One of the key elements of colouring in, well, you have to go slow when you get to the edges. You all know that, don't you? So you don't go over the edges. Don't worry too much if you do. It doesn't matter. Remember what I said, an imperfect drawing is a beautiful drawing. But another good little tip here, can you see how when I'm colouring, I'm just going in one direction? I'm keeping it all sort of parallel diagonal lines. And that just, I think that just helps making it look a little bit neater than it otherwise might. But again, don't worry too much. You don't have to do what I do. So there we go. I just want you to colour in that area. We're going to leave the tummy white for the time being. Now, how are we doing for time, Willow? We doing all right? We're doing good. Okay, right. I'm going to show you how to do a little, I'm going to give you a really, really advanced art lesson now. I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of shading to make our whale look a bit more three-dimensional than you otherwise might. Oh, don't forget to do this little bit down here. The sort of the rear fin. We mustn't forget that. Right, I'm going to show you how to do a bit of three-dimensional shading. So this is a good little tip for you. Hopefully you'll be able to take this away with you and apply to the drawings that you do in the future. Right, now if you imagine, when you're shading, you have to think where the light is coming from, okay? Because if the light was shining from this side, it would mean that this side of the whale was much lighter and this side of the whale was all in shadow. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to imagine my lights here. But what I want you to do, I don't just want you to colour a darker area right at the edge. What I want you to do is leave a little gap, about a centimetre gap away from the edge. And I just want you to sort of press a bit harder with your pencil. If you haven't got colours, just press a bit harder with your regular pencil so it goes a bit darker. And I just want you to add a sort of slightly darker edge, about a centimetre in. And I want you then just to fade out. So just press a little bit lighter with your pencil as you get further away from that dark edge and just fade out. And we're going to continue it round here, round the top. Again, we're leaving a little gap between the edge of your dark area and the edge of our drawing. And we're going to go all the way around. We're going to go over the eyebrow like that. Around here, again, pressing hard, leaving a little gap. Then we're going to curl around the tail here and we're going to just join up with the edge right at the end of the tail like that. But remember, can you see how I'm sort of fading out? I'm pressing down hard, then I'm sort of pressing down lighter as I get further away from those dark areas. And I'll explain why in a minute. So once you've done that, so you've got sort of a hard edge of darker blue there. Next thing I want you to do, I want you to just soften that edge there. So I want you to go back to it, press hard, and then just sort of fade it out a little bit, but still don't go right to the edge. You're just going to soften that edge. Wow, this is. Yeah, sorry, Willow's just talking to me. She's telling me to remind you all to stay on the lesson for its entirety. Remember, if you get bored, if this is getting too hard for you, don't leave the lesson because we won't count towards our world record if you go. So please stay with me. So yes, can you see I've just sort of faded it out a little bit there and it just makes our whale look a little bit more three-dimensional. I'm going to add a little bit of dark shading just to the left side of the fin like that. If you've got another blue, you could even add, like if you've got a darker blue, you can even add just a little bit of dark blue in the area where you pressed a bit harder, just like that. And it just makes your drawing, even though it's on a flat piece of paper, it just makes it seem a little bit more three-dimensional. But you know what? You don't have to do this, remember? You don't have to do everything I say. If you've just coloured it beautifully, nice and flat, or you've added a lovely pattern, that is absolutely fine. Okay. Right. Okay. Just going to do the tail. Right. The next thing to do. So there we go. We've coloured our whale's body. We are going to take our blue pencil, and I just want you to add three little stripes across our whale's tummy, just like that. Because blue whales, they have these sort of stripy tummies, just like that. Okay, and I think that's our whale, the whale part of our drawing, finished. Now we need to colour in this bit up here. Before we do that, before we do the main sort of arc area here, what I want you to do is take your light blue pen and just add a few simple little lines coming down from the arc, just like that. Because I think we're going to leave this area mainly white, but if we just add a few of these little lines sort of following the curve around, it just makes it seem like there's water shooting up and gushing out of this whale's blowhole. And you can even add, if you want, you can just add a small amount of shading at the top, like that. Okay, now my favourite bit, the arc here. I thought it might be nice if we coloured this in rainbow colours, because then we can put them up in our window. Everyone in the UK, at least at the moment, everyone's putting up little rainbows in their windows, aren't they, to support our NHS and everybody who's working for the NHS. So I thought it might be nice if we did a rainbow colour here in this sort of this arc of water. So what colour are rainbows? I always use the, is it an acronym? I don't know if it's an acronym. What is it? That Richard of York gave battle in vain. I don't know, that's not, is it an acronym? Maybe it is. Richard of York gave battle in vain. They're the colours of the rainbow. Richard, red, of, orange, York, yellow, gave, green, battle, blue, battle in, indigo, vein, violet. So they're the colours of our rainbow. So what I want you to do is take a red pencil if you've got one. Don't worry again if you haven't got colours, it doesn't matter. Just do it with your regular pencil. And I want you to colour a nice thin red stripe like this around the edge of your little rainbow shape. Okay? Don't worry about doing it too neatly. It doesn't really matter. Like that. Richard of York, we need orange next. Now, while we're doing this, would you like me to tell you some brilliant whale facts that I've looked up? Would you like to? Would you like me to? Right. So, as I said, they're the largest animals on Earth, aren't they? Whales. Do you know exactly how big they are? Get this. 30 metres long. 30 metres long these animals are. That is about the same as 3 London buses, end to end. That is a big animal, isn't it? So there we go. There's our orange stripe, like that. Richard of York. Yeah. Sorry, Willow's talking to me. It's quite weird when somebody is talking in your ear and not everyone can hear her. She was just saying to me, just to remind you about the fact that you don't have colouring pencils. If you haven't got colouring pencils, you can just use your regular pencil. You could do a lovely pattern in here. If you've just got a regular pencil, you could do loads of stars or moons and that, all that kind of thing, or stripes, just in sort of different shades of grey with your pencils. It doesn't matter if you don't have colours. Or if you don't have colours now, you can wait until a bit later when you've got some colours and you could do your drawing a bit later, as long as you keep on watching me. Don't stop watching me. Richard of York, yellow, green. Green's next, right. Yes, so whales, they're longer than 3 London buses. That is pretty impressive. And they're heavier than 3 lorries, apparently. They're really, really heavy, these things. They're about 130,000 kilograms. So you don't want one to fall on top of you. Apparently its tongue weighs as much as an elephant. Just its tongue weighs as much as an elephant. And its heart is the size of a car. Can you imagine that? A heart the size of a car. It doesn't say what kind of car. Maybe it's only a Mini. I don't know. Maybe it's a limousine. Come on, the internet, you need to specify what kind of car the whale's heart is the size of. There you go. Richard of York gave green. What's next? Battle. We're going to go for blue next. A nice blue stripe. Go around here. I think I might have used too dark a blue there. Never mind. It doesn't matter, does it? Okay. Oh, would you like me? Oh, I've just read my next fact about a whale. Not very nice, is it? It's apparently it's all to do with its blood vessels. Apparently they're so big a human could swim through a whale's blood vessel. How do they find that out? Who volunteered to swim through a whale's blood vessel? That's disgusting. Anyway, right, battle Indigo. Is this Indigo? I don't know. It doesn't really matter what colour you do it. As I said, it doesn't matter if you don't do it in any colours. But I'm going to add a little bit of purple around here. Apparently whales are the loudest animals in the world as well. If you imagine a jet engine, right? If you measure the volume of a jet engine, it's 140 decibels, right? A whale, when it sort of does its call in the ocean, 188 decibels. I know. Super loud. It can be heard for up to 1,000 miles away. You can hear a whale call. I wish Ringo, my dog, could hear me when he goes disappearing in the park. He's about 10 metres away and he can't hear me. I need a whale. Hang on, where am I? Richard, vein, violet. Do you know what? I'm just going to do pink. I'm going to finish it off with a nice bit of pink in here. Like that. Oh, this is nice, isn't it? It's starting to really take shape. So there we go. We're almost finished now with our drawing. Let's just get rid of those little pencil marks. I haven't smudged it at all yet. I'm so impressed with myself. I really can't wait to see how your drawings are taking shape. Now, at the moment, our whale just looks like he's flying through the air. So the final touch that we need to add to our drawing is we're just going to add a bit of a wobbly line across here, which suggests that our whale is underwater. And this is how we're going to do it. Put your pencil sort of level with the end of your rainbow like that. And we're just going to start going up and down like that. Nice and easy. Up and down. We're going to keep going across the front of our whale. Like that, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, until we get to the end, like that. And I don't actually think we need to colour in this area here, because sometimes you don't need to do every single part of a drawing. You just need to sort of suggest certain things. And I think the person who's looking at the drawing, that eye sort of makes up the details. So if I was drawing, you know, a sheep on a field or something, I wouldn't necessarily have to colour in all the green around the sheep. I could just add a few little tufts of grass, and it would suggest that the sheep was standing on. I just add a little bit of blue shading, just like that, just at the top of the line. But then I think you don't really need to fill in all the rest of the details, because the viewer's eye just sort of does that for you. Tell you what we could do, we could add a few little bubbles. Why don't we do that? Let's do some bubbles coming out of our whale's mouth down here. Different sizes, maybe colour in a couple, like that. And then we can add just a couple of other little bubbles here and there in the water, just like that. And I think that's enough to suggest that our whale is under water. So there we go. I think we're pretty much finished. I'm being told that's exactly 30 minutes of drawing. I'm bang on the money. That is so impressive. I think I would have gone over if Willow hadn't told me off earlier. I'm going to add a little bit of shading just here, just under that fin there, because we started shading. And see, you know, this dark area we did down here, I'm just going to carry that on onto his white tummy a little bit, just like that, just so the whole thing looks nice and three-dimensional. There we go. And there is your whale with his rainbow jet of water. That's a nice drawing, isn't it? That is a nice drawing to stick up in your window, I reckon. Now, there's one more thing we need to do before we finish this drawing. It's a very important part of the drawing. We need to sign it, don't we? I'm going to sign mine down here in the bottom right-hand side. Here we go. Rob Biddulph. There we go. And because this is a very special day, I'm going to write underneath it, Art World Records, just so that we can remember this special day. Let's put the year 2020. And there we go. Can you see that? Can everybody see that? How am I doing, Willow? How's that? Is that in the middle of the screen? Perfect, she says. Brilliant. So there we go. Our final whale drawing. I'm quite pleased with that. What do you think? Are you happy with your drawing? I certainly hope so. Now, when we're doing our normal Draw with Rob videos, I always ask you to do this, don't I? Can you get somebody, maybe your grown-up, could take a photo of your drawing, take a little picture of it, and then they can post it on social media. And if they use the hashtag Draw with Rob, but also the hashtag Art World Records, then do you know what? Then I get to see them all. And that would be great if you wouldn't mind doing that. There's a couple of other things that I want you to do too. Here we go. We've put it in a very simple little bite-size caption thing here. So yes, I want you to post it using the hashtags Draw with Rob and Art World Records. We want you to put it up in your window, okay? Because I think it'd be really nice for you, if when you do get to go out to do your exercise or go for your little walks, wouldn't it be amazing if you walk down your street and you see lots of these lovely rainbow whales in the windows of other people's houses, and you'll know that you're not the only one who's been drawing along with me to break this world record today. It's a really nice thing, I think, to bring people together. And then maybe when this lockdown period has ended, you can all get together and do some drawings together. That'd be really, really cool. So put it up in your window. And the next thing to do, print your certificate. Now, what certificate, I hear you ask? Shall I show you the certificate? It's this certificate here. Now, fingers crossed we break this world record. Now, I must say the numbers are looking very, very good. I must say. Is that right, Willow? Are the numbers looking pretty good? They're looking very good, she says. So fingers crossed we're going to break this world record. Once we get it ratified, it's all got to be checked by Guinness. Guinness World Records are going to be looking at this, and they've got to check, make sure that, I don't know what they're going to check, to be honest, make sure we weren't cheating. I don't know, how would you cheat? They're just going to check the numbers, do a proper count up, and that might take them about a week. And so after a week, once we've got it totally and utterly confirmed, what we're going to do, because we've got all of your email addresses because you registered, we're going to email everybody a copy of this certificate for you to print out, and you can write your name in it, a proper real life certificate saying that you are a record breaker. We'll probably put the actual number of people who attended this lesson in there, and you can add the date that you get your certificate, and you can put that up in your window next to your lovely drawing. What do you think? That sound like a good plan? So listen, I think we're pretty much done now. Don't go yet. Don't go. You're not allowed to go yet because I've got a few shout outs to make. So some people who I really, really want to give a special mention to, okay? And the first ones are people way out in Japan, in Tokyo, okay? June, Shimura, and Karen, who are joining with Yoichi, who is 9 years old, and Chihara, who is 6 years old. And do you know what? They've stayed up until midnight to do this drawing with me. Thank you so much. The next shout out, it just says here, everyone in India. So everyone in India, that's all. Everyone in the Indian subcontinent, I am saying hello to you and thank you for joining us. That would be pretty cool if everyone in the Indian subcontinent joined in with us. I think we probably would break the world record then. Next, the Affordable Art Fair in Singapore. Thank you very much for joining in. Geeta Bana from the Art House. Mariette G from South Africa, and happy birthday to you. Olivia, Max and Charlotte from Sandown School. Everyone at Bedford Arts. Irina, now she had an excellent banner on Facebook, I remember that. Sandra Russell on Twitter. Sana, we're excited too, Sana. Thank you for your message. JCOS_art studio. Oh, thank you for getting in touch, JCOS. Is _art studio your surname? I don't know. Amy Bailey too. That's hello to you, Amy. And then Tina from Acox Green Primary. So there we go. Shout outs. There's probably loads and loads more shout outs that I could do, but we're going to be running out of time soon. And now I've got a few thank yous to say, quite a few thank yous. First of all, can I just say thank you to everybody who's helped spread the word on Instagram for us? Okay, I'm going to rattle through these quite quickly. We've got Katie Foley, we've got Claire at Oliver Lottie and me, Sand and Seagulls, Grace Woodward, Tam, Pallavi Dave, Christine Leach, lovely Christine Leach, she's my friend, Sandra Russell Art, Talent House, Yeah Lifestyle, a mum of two little girls, also known as Carly. We've got the Good Art Guide, Oakmore Art, Beth Morris Workshops, and Birdie, the singer Birdie, who was great. She did a really good drawing of an owl. I want to say thank you to all of our ambassadors, all the schools and the parents and the students, the teachers across the world who've spread the word for this world record attempt and who've attended today. Just a few to name here: St Joseph's Expressive Arts at Buckingham Prep School, Bentley Wood Harrow, Cathedral School, St Mary's Shaftesbury, Woodrush High School, Warwickshire Kids, After School Tales, Front Door 35 Kids Corner, the Other Art Fair, After School Tales, Hampstead School of Art, Ellis, Murcia out in Spain, my friend Nick out in Spain, Elfie, Chadvale, King's College, Positively Pants and Positively Empowered Kids. And then last but not least, my own children's school, St Mary's in Finchley. But there are so many more of you. It's very, very hard to thank everybody. We just need to say thank you to a few companies who've generously donated time and money towards the cause. Taylor Wessing, Derwent, the Other Art Fair, Amma School, UR Team, GKD, and ExpertExt. And I want to say a huge thank you to our partners, Art World Records, who put this whole thing together. Entrepreneur First, Skim Lengths, Creative Debuts, Founders Pledge, my brilliant publisher HarperCollins, and of course Talent House. I also want to say a special thank you to the Art World Records team. So Willow, who's in my ear at the moment, Bronwyn, Sam, Seb, David, Nikki, Callum, Matt, Luke, Alex and Eric. I'm nearly finished with the thank yous, I promise. I just wanted to add a few personal thank yous. I want to say personally thanks to the Art World Records team and Entrepreneur First for choosing me to do this, especially Sam Barnett, especially Willow, who I've been in touch with so much over the last 2 weeks, asking so many silly questions. She's never once lost patience with me. The lovely Bronwyn Barnett, who has been just like a saviour on all things technical, but mainly all the Instagram stuff and the social media stuff. She has taught me a heck of a lot this week. Ed Butterfield, who's done all the PR. I want to thank everybody at YouTube who's been helping us. We've been doing lots of Skype calls with YouTube to make sure we get all the tech working, particularly Nima Kalantari, who has been absolutely brilliant. Again, never once lost patience with me with all my silly questions. I want to thank everyone at HarperCollins, my publisher, particularly Jess Dean, who has been doing some sterling work on the publicity front, as she always does. And I want to thank my agent, Jodie Hodges, who is the person who came to me with this in the first place. So this is all her fault that I'm doing this and we are breaking world records. And then nearly second to last, but not least, I want to thank Ali, my wife, and my daughters, my 3 daughters, Ella, Kitty and Poppy. I want to thank Ringo because he hasn't interrupted us. Well done, Ringo. Good boy, Ringo. And then last but not least, I want to thank all of you guys for registering and joining in with this world record attempt. Do you know what? I think we've done it. Now then, look, here's all the logos. These are all of our partners. So thank you very much, guys. the last thing, of course, the reason we're doing this, we want to break a world record, and it's really nice to spend some time together, isn't it? But the main reason that we're doing this is because we want to raise money to help fight this terrible disease, this COVID-19 disease. So it's not too late for you to go and donate at artworldrecords.com. And this is what we're trying to do. We're going to spread the money across lots of different charities. And we are aiming to do three things. We're aiming to stop the spread of the disease. We aim to support those who've been affected by the disease and who are suffering as a result of it. And we want to donate some money that goes towards the research that hopefully is going to prevent future pandemics like this from happening. So Willow, are you able to give me the total so far, the money we've raised so far? Oh, oh my gosh. So far we have raised, people, over £33,000. But you know what? I think we can raise more. If you just go to this website, crowdfunder.co.uk, and you search our Art World Records, you will find the donation page. And even if you can only give £1, that would be absolutely amazing, because I'm sure you will agree that it is a fantastic cause. And there's also things on the website, you can buy some prints and that kind of thing. So, you know, you might get a little bit of something back for your money. And in fact, I think one of the things we're going to do to raise money, I think we're going to auction my drawing, the drawing that I've just done today, this original drawing. So I think that is going to be sorted out at some point in the future. Keep an eye on your email, because one lucky person is going to get, well, I say lucky, yeah, I might need to tidy it up a bit. One lucky person is going to take home a piece of history, a record-breaking drawing. So that is something to look forward to, isn't it? Okay, it's time to wind up now. I just want to remind you about something, or tell you about something. If you enjoy my Draw with Rob lessons, we have made a little activity book. It's really good. I only finished it last week, but it's a really good thing. It's got lots of little draw-alongs in it and puzzles and activities and colouring pages and things like that. And it's coming out on the 9th of July. But you know what? You can pre-order it now. And anywhere you get your books from, Amazon, Waterstones, anywhere you get your books from, you can pre-order it. So I think you're really going to like it. If you've liked this lesson, you really like doing that. And also, of course, you can join me for my regular Draw with Rob videos. Every Tuesday and Thursday during lockdown, I post a brand new video at 10 a.m. British summertime. And you can find me on Twitter at Rob Biddulph, Instagram at rbiddulph, Facebook Rob Biddulph Author, YouTube right here. You can subscribe to this channel. And on TikTok, I don't even know what TikTok is, to be honest, but I'm on it. So there you go. Now listen, Willow, is it safe to go? Has everyone stayed for long enough? It's safe to go. Yes, the 3 Ps. Everybody, don't forget, you've got to post. You've got to put it in your window. So post your pictures. Take a picture of a picture, post it with the hashtag #DrawWithRob and Art World Records. Put it up in your window to show everybody that you've been doing this world record thing and to support our NHS and our medical services across the world. And then don't forget, print out your certificate when hopefully we break this world record. And donate whatever you can, please, because it's for such a brilliant cause. Now listen, I'm sorry I've been talking so much. You must be so bored of my voice, but it's been really fun for me. I've really liked showing you how to draw this whale. I want you all to stay safe. And I am going to see you very soon for another Draw with Rob video. Thanks everyone. It's been really, really lovely to spend a little bit of time with you today. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.